Good afternoon, everyone. The next system is a digestive system. So we will see the gastrointestinal tract process, the digestive system. So mainly from the mouth till the anus. Okay, the part which is coming between the mouth and the anus, these digestive gastrointestinal tract. So gastrointestinal tract mainly contain the parts like mouth. So you are taking the food and water through the esophagus. So through the esophagus it enter the stomach. In the stomach the digestion of food particles are taking place. Okay, so after digestion it will pass through the small intestine. In the small intestine some of the important nutrients get absorbed into the blood. Okay, so this is the blood vessels, so it get absorption is taking place, and so from the blood vessel it is secretions also taking place. So secretions will going to the anus, the waste particles. Okay, so from the small intestine it is going to the large intestine. In the large intestine, so it will form a feces, that is the waste material, the feces. So from the rectum and through the anus it is excreted. Okay, so this is the whole process because the digestive system. So digestion is a process by which the food is broken down into a simple chemical substances. Okay, digestion is a process by which the food is broken down into a simple chemical substances that can be absorbed or and used as a nutrients by the body. So coming to the functions of the GIT, once the digestion of the food, okay, the food is digested, then secretion, digestion of food particles, absorption of nutrients from the food, then excretion of waste materials. So next coming to the parts, so through the mouth the food is entered the esophagus. This is the esophagus. So from the esophagus it enter the stomach. Okay, so then from the stomach it is going to the first part of the duodenum, that is the small intestine. So then in the small intestine it get absorbed, then it is going to the large intestine or a colon, then through the rectum and anus. So mainly the gastrointestinal tract is made up of mouth, pharynx. Okay, so pharynx is very important, then esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and accessory organs. Okay, so these accessory organs and structures will, the food will not going to these organs, like in the salivary glands, the liver, gallbladder and pancreas are the accessory organs. So these will help by secreting the digestive juice. Okay, by secreting the digestive juice, it involved in the digestion of or breakdown of food particles. Okay, the food will go through the mouth to the stomach, then small intestine, then large intestine. Okay, so these will put the secretion for the breakdown or digestion of these particles. So now we will study the individual parts, individual organs, what is function. Okay, the first one is salivary glands. Okay, in the mouth there is a salivary glands are present. Okay, the glands are present called salivary glands. So in the oral cavity, the saliva is secreted. Okay, the saliva is secreted in the oral cavity mainly by these glands, the salivary glands. One is the parotid gland. So this is the parotid gland, sublingual gland and submandibular gland. These are the major glands. So other than this the minor glands are also present, so that is not important. In the oral cavity or in the mouth or in the oral cavity, The saliva is a juice is secreted continuously by these glands: parotid gland, sublingual gland and submandibular glands. So this salivary secretion or salivary juice or saliva, so daily secretion is 1000 to 1500 ml per day, so which contain 99.5% of water and 0.5% of solids. The specific gravity is 1.002 to 1.012. It contains, so all the secretion mainly contain organic and inorganic substances. Okay, so in inorganic substances contain sodium, potassium, bicarbonate, chloride, bromide, phosphate, etc. Okay, so there are inorganic substances, the salivary juice I am telling. So next is the organic substances. So organic substances like enzymes, so mainly contain enzymes like salivary alpha amylase. Okay, so salivary alpha amylase is an enzyme, so very important for the digestion of carbohydrate. Okay, so whatever the food you are taking, so you have to remember the food mainly contain three types. One is carbohydrates, lipids or fat, then proteins. Okay, proteins, so carbohydrate, lipids and proteins. So in the digestion, whatever the enzyme I am telling, so there is, these enzymes are it is not all the enzymes will digest all the food types. Okay, for carbohydrate it is different. So salivary alpha amylase digest only the carbohydrates. So the carbohydrate digestion is taking place so in mouth only. Okay, so then lipids and proteins will not digest, so it will go to all the carbohydrate, lipids and proteins will go to stomach. Okay, so like that. And also the mucin, lysozymes. Understood? So composition or properties and composition of saliva, so daily secretion is 1000 to 1500 ml. So mainly it is secreted by glands which is present in the oral cavity, salivary glands. So which contain organic and inorganic substances. So inorganic substances are mainly ions. Okay, organic substances are enzymes and also mucin and lysozymes. So next, coming to the functions of saliva, so very important. The first one is helps for perception of taste. Okay, so or appreciation of taste. So whatever the food you are taking, so that first it should be soluble in water. Okay, so and then only you can taste the food. So whatever the saliva which is present in the mouth, the food get dissolved in that. Okay, then the chemical substances present in the food are able to stimulate the taste receptors. In our tongue, the taste receptors are present. Okay, in the tongue, the taste receptors are present. To stimulate the taste receptors, the food get dissolved in the saliva. Okay, the next one is the formation of bolus. So bolus, the food get mixed up with the saliva and form easily swallowing of the food. So it is essential for the easy swallowing of the food, the bolus formation. So water content of the saliva and also the mucus will help for the formation of bolus. So it is it is essential for easy swallowing of the food. Digestive function, so it contain amylase. Okay, so it will help for the digest the starch or carbohydrate. Okay, then keep the oral cavity moist, so that is helpful for to speech. Then protective function, so it contain lysozymes, so that will fight against the bacteria or microorganism which enter the oral cavity through food. Next, excretory function, So excretory function, it excrete the metals like lead and mercury. Okay, then maintain the water balance. So because of the body water content is reduced, whenever it is reduced, the rate of salivary secretion will increase, secretion decreases. Okay, so that time you will feel thirst, so sensation of thirst, so you will take more and more water, so then it will be balanced. So these are the functions of saliva. So in the, this is one important question. Okay, functions of saliva. So in this chapter only they will ask the functions of saliva. So that's complete the salivary gland. So next is the deglutition. So deglutition means the process of passage of food from oral cavity into the stomach through the esophagus. Okay, so now you taken the food, so food will form a bolus, okay, in your mouth. By salivary action, the food will form a bolus. So now that bolus will go to stomach through the esophagus. So the process of passage of food from oral cavity or from a mouth into the stomach through the esophagus, we call it as deglutition. Okay, the swallowing of food. So this is the structure. So this is the mouth. So you have taken the food. Okay, so it's the tongue. So this is a soft palate. So through this, so it enters the pharynx. So this is the esophagus. So this is trachea, the respiratory tract. The food has to go through the esophagus. So I will next come to stages of deglutition. There are 3 stages. One is oral stage, pharyngeal stage, and esophageal stage. Okay, oral stage, pharyngeal stage, and esophageal stage. So coming to the oral stage, so that is you are taking the food into your mouth, that is oral stage. So it is a voluntary stage. The bolus is passes through the oral cavity into the pharynx. Okay, in this stage the food from the oral cavity will pass it into the pharynx. So after reaching the pharynx, the pharyngeal stage will begins. So it is an involuntary stage. So here the bolus is pushed from pharynx into esophagus. Okay, so from the pharynx the food is pushed into esophagus. Okay, so that initiate the pharyngeal stage. So but in the pharyngeal stage, whenever the bolus is pushed into the pharynx, from the pharynx into the esophagus, the pharynx is a common passage. Okay, so here the pharynx is a common passage that for food and air. Okay, for food and air, the pharynx is a common passage. So pharynx can be divided into 2 ways. One is larynx and another one is pharynx. Okay, now food is present here. This is the food. Now from the oral cavity, the bolus enter the pharynx. The pharynx is a common passage, so it divides into larynx and esophagus. Now the bolus has to go to esophagus, not into the airway, right? It should not go to larynx. Now the food has to pass through the esophagus to reach the stomach. To pass this one, we can't push from our finger, right? With our finger we can't push the food into the esophagus. So there are some different mechanisms will operate, like, so there is a possibility that the food can go back into the mouth, or maybe upward into the nasopharynx, or forward into larynx, or maybe it enter towards into the esophagus. So we want the food to move into the esophagus. Okay, so the food to pass back into the mouth is prevented by the presence of tongue. Okay, so prevented by the tongue will prevent the back flow of mouth, backflow of bolus into the mouth. The tongue will prevent. So upward movement of a bolus into nasopharynx is prevented by soft palate. Okay, and forward into larynx is prevented by vocal cord. So here what will happen? Approximation of vocal cord will takes place, and forward and upward movement of the larynx occur. So that will prevent the bolus to enter into the larynx. And finally, so entrance of bolus into the esophagus. Okay, since all three parts are closed, now only the esophagus is open. Okay, this path is open, so the food will enter into the esophagus. Okay, so next, coming to the esophageal stage. So this is an involuntary stage. So the main function of the esophagus to transport bolus from the pharynx to the stomach. Okay, so there are two sphincters can be seen. So these sphincters will open and close whenever the bolus enter. Okay, so whenever the bolus enter, so these sphincters will open. So otherwise it is closed. There are two sphincters can be seen. One is the pharyngoesophageal sphincters present between the pharynx and esophagus, and gastroesophageal sphincter which is present between the esophagus and stomach. Okay, gastro means stomach. So between the stomach, and you can see here, so here this is, so above there is a one sphincter that is between the pharynx and esophagus, and this is the stomach. So below is the gastroesophageal sphincters. So that is open only whenever the food enters. Okay, so in this we can see there are two types of contractions. How the bolus will pass through this suppose this is the esophagus, the bolus has to move from here, it can't do like this. Okay, so it can't pass like this. So there is some contractions are taking place. Okay, so that contraction will cause the bolus to move down. Understood? The bolus has to move down. So these contractions are primary peristaltic contractions and secondary peristaltic contractions. Suppose this is the esophagus. Whenever the from the pharynx, whenever the bolus enter the esophagus, this here there is one sphincter is there. So through that sphincter that will open and food will come here. So when food come here, so there is a contractions, the peristaltic contraction or peristalsis. So we will tell the peristalsis or peristaltic waves. So that will help for the forward or downward movement of the bolus. Okay, so that is divided into primary peristaltic contraction and secondary peristaltic contractions. So these contractions are peristaltic waves or peristalsis. Okay, so that will helpful for the movement of food. So this peristalsis means a wave of contraction followed by the wave of relaxation of muscle fibers of GI tract. Okay, so first we will see what is a peristalsis. So peristalsis means okay, a wave of contraction, you can see here. So this is the opening. Okay, this is the opening. Now food enter here. So behind the food bolus, these muscles get contracted. Okay, the wave of contraction followed by, so the in front of the bolus, so behind the bolus the muscle get contracted, so in front of the bolus it get relaxed, so the bolus will go to relaxed area. So otherwise the bolus can go back to here, right? If it is relaxed here, so it can go back. So but what will happen, behind the bolus the muscle get contracted and in front of the bolus the muscle get relaxed, so the bolus will go to relaxed area. So like that, from here the bolus will move to all the way of the esophagus. So this type of contraction can be seen in the stomach, in the esophagus, stomach, and maybe in small and large intestine. Okay, that is called peristalsis. So very important. So peristalsis means the wave of contraction is followed by wave of relaxation. Okay, wave of contraction followed by wave of relaxation. So like that it will pass through and enter the stomach. So in below the stomach what is there? So here below the esophagus one more, the sphincter is present. So whenever the bolus will approach here, these gastroesophageal sphincters will open and food will enter the esophagus. So otherwise, so you can see here the diagram. So the food, the yellow color is the food or a bolus. So now, so larynx is closed, it can't move upward also, so because of a soft palate, then it is moving into the esophagus. Okay. So next time, the role of lower esophageal sphincter or gastroesophageal sphincters. It is always closed. So only whenever the food enter, it will open. Okay. So that is the role of lower esophageal sphincter. So sometimes what will happen? You can feel the regurgitation, or the food will sometimes after taking the food, so from the stomach there is a backflow of the if acidity is more, there is the food will go back to esophagus. Okay, so that is the regurgitation. So the heart burning or burning sensation will you feel. So that is because of food. Okay, the food because this lower esophageal sphincters will not close completely. Okay, if it is not closed completely, so little bit the food will enter through here into the esophagus. So that's complete the deglutition. So deglutition is a very important the definition. Then the stages. So oral stage, pharyngeal stage, then esophageal stage. Okay. So that's complete the deglutition. So next topic is a stomach. Then 25 minutes.